Hello and welcome to the show Finding Meaning at Work. I'm your host Abhinav Gupta. I'm a counseling psychologist, an independent researcher, and a career coach. Let me cut to the chase and tell you that this show is all about you. I'll be your partner in this journey and will give you some quick, easy, and actionable tools every week that can help you find meaning and purpose around your work. Some days we'll have expert guests arriving from various walks of life, and the other days you and I will connect for a more meaningful discussion. More on this in the show. Remember, it's all about you. A very warm welcome to today's episode, guys. This is episode number 2, and today we are going to talk about how you identify strengths and values and identify careers that align with it. Regarding career choices, it is common for people to overlook or disregard the core values, their abilities, and motivations that would help them make more informed decisions. When a professional life is not aligned with strengths and values, you are likely to experience demotivation, disillusionment, and a deterioration in performance. For you to find meaning in your professional lives and increase satisfaction, you must seek a career that is in sync with your strengths and values. What do we mean by these values and strengths? Let's take a closer look at it. Your values are the things you consider as important. Some examples of values include creativity, honesty, freedom, and authenticity. These are some of those things that you want to stand for in life. And your strengths are the things that you're good at. It could be your communication skill, interpersonal skills, your negotiation skills, or maybe your leadership ability. For strengths, you may select a particular career because it plays on your strength, but they don't act so clearly as a guide. While several methods are there available to help you identify your own strengths and values, these values are pretty evident in the things that you care to do right. In short, if you've ever observed yourself closely, there are always some tasks and activities that you want to complete to the best of your abilities because you care about doing them right. It does not matter that the other people tell you it is good enough or not. What matters is that you want to do these things right. So if values and strengths determine your behavior and actions, then the things that you care about doing right reflect the same values and strengths. For example, if you're a leader of a team and you stand for the values such as authenticity and honesty, you would always share honest feedback with your team members, irrespective of who is sitting on the other side and who is watching. In other words, you care about sharing honest feedback with your team members because you stand for authenticity and honesty. As with values and strengths, we all have a unique list of tasks and activities that we care about doing right. Let's understand it through an exercise. So this exercise will help you think about what you care to do right, identify the values and strengths reflected in these activities, and consider careers that align with your abilities and values. So step number 1, let's first identify what it means to care to do it right. Sometimes people need to do things right because others are expecting or telling them to. You have to do these things to your full ability because they matter to you, even when no one else tells you or expects you to do them. You can't help but do them right anyway. Let's understand it by an example. Pragati works in a cafe and cares about giving customers a pleasant experience. She cares about because she wants her customers to have a nice time and leave feelings like they've enjoyed the whole experience. Pragati provides good service. She chats with the people she meets. And while it is not in her job description, she asks them about themselves because she genuinely wants to know and cares about making their time enjoyable. As for the second instance, Udit spends a lot of time looking for the perfect gifts for his friends and family. He does this because he cares, not because it is expected of him. Udit is not happy to find a gift that is just good enough. He goes above and beyond because finding the right gift is something he wants to do. And he cannot help but search for gifts that he knows his friends will love and appreciate. He cares to do this right because it makes him happy. And now that you've identified what it means to care to do it right, what things, action, tasks do you care about doing right? Write your responses on a piece of paper or in your laptop. And for each item listed, write the specific reasons also for why you care to do these things right. For example, you care to give your team members a space to come up with the solutions to the problems because you want to solve the problems quickly and more effectively. Or maybe you care to share the honest feedback with your team members because you want your team members to develop their skills properly. Once you've identified the things you care to do well, you will take a moment to reflect on your responses. When you're ready to do so, consider the following questions. What common theme or patterns do you notice across the things you care to do right? Which values and strengths are present in your responses that you've just given? In this step, you will think about possible careers that align with the strengths and values you highlighted in your previous step. While you might have some ideas already, it may help to visit a job and employment website to spot professions or fields that complement your strengths and values. So take time to consider jobs where your strengths and values would play an important role and write them down. And now, it's the reflection time. Which of the jobs you identified in the previous step do you find most appealing? What do you find most appealing about this job? And what small steps can you take that would allow you to move into this type of work? At the end, a quote from Swami Vivekananda comes to my mind right now, where he said, "Whoever works at a thing heart and soul not only achieves success in it, but through his absorption in that, he also realizes the supreme truth, Brahman." Before we close today, I have one small request to make to all of you. You see, in the rush of life, at times we leave some people behind, not knowing that they need help and support. Just because they didn't utter anything doesn't mean all is well with them. So let's hit a pause button and check in with them. How can we bring them up to speed? Or how can we support them in their journey of life? Sometimes simply listening to them without the need for any judgment or opinion brings healing for them. Keeping in mind this thought, I have launched an initiative. It's a voluntary initiative and it's called Sun Mitra, which in English means listen buddy. The aim of this voluntary initiative called Sun Mitra is to break the shackles of stigma and invite people to talk about their mental health through their own stories. So if you have something to say, or if you know somebody who has, please feel free to connect with me on my website, which is findingmeaningatwork.in. You will find the link in the show notes. So this is it for today. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really hope that you take time, reflect, and walk away with something meaningful from this episode. Request you to please subscribe and rate the show also from whichever app that you're listening. Your rating will act as a fuel for me to dig up, research, and bring these interesting, actionable exercises for you. If you wish to know more about this exercise, please log into my website, findingmeaningatwork.in. Also, please follow me on social media. You can also join my exclusive Telegram community for show notes, intimate discussions, content, and behind the scenes. You were listening to Abhinav, your career partner, and remember, it's all about you.